बताती हूँ. अस्सलाम वालेकुम. Good morning. Are you hearing me, students? Please reply. Please reply if you are hearing me clearly. Yes, Sundar, very good of you. Other students, are you hearing me? Please reply. I am waiting for some of the students because students are coming continuously. After that, I will start my lecture. Hope you are understanding different topics by these online classes. Okay, now I want to discuss about the assignment submission today. You know that today is the assignment submission day. So hope you have completed the assignment and submit between the timings. You all know that the timings are 8:30 a.m. till 12 noon. Okay, today is the homework submission day and I want your language copies. You all know that you have to do the assignments which have been given on Tuesday and Thursday. Today I will upload another assignment, but the submission date will be for the next week. Okay, so don't get worried. Today's assignment will be completed or will be assigned for the completion date in the coming weeks. So don't get worried. Now I want to start my today's lecture. It is another English language lecture. I'm Mrs. Afshin Imran. You all know me very well. If you are not understanding anything, I'm telling you again that ask me at the end of the lecture. I will give you time to ask me anything, but don't disturb the class in between the lecture. Don't write your names for your attendance because I will mark your attendance whenever you join my class. So don't get worried about your attendance. This is lecture number 53. The topic is letter writing. I have already discussed this topic in the class, but many of the students don't have the book at that time and they were not in the class, they were absent on that days. So I'm repeating this topic again so that if you have got any problem or any confusion in letter writing, you will get the solution here, as well as when I upload the video, you will see it again and again to solve your problems. Now, first of all, you should know that what is a letter. So I have written the definition of letter here. Nida Sheikh, it doesn't have any problem. You are here, I know that. Okay. A letter is a written, typed, or printed communication by a person sent to another person in an envelope by post or by messenger. Okay, you all know that we are not writing the letter nowadays. It is an obsolete type of thing. But some in organizations or in some areas of the organizations or in schools, we are doing them doing writing the letter continuously. But you know that we the mobiles are very much common, so we are sending the messages through our mobiles. But you should know how it has to be written. A letter is actually a written material, or it can be typed or printed as well. It is a way of communication. It means you talk with some other person, and it can be written by a person and it has to be sent to another person. Okay, in an envelope. If the letter has been posted by the post by post different means, by post office, so it can be sent into an envelope. It can be placed into the envelope first and then sent to another person by the post, or it can be shown by it can be sent to by a messenger as well. Okay, it is the person. Now, letter writing. Letter writing means it is the exchange of written, typed, or printed messages. It means, I have already told you what is a letter, the typed or written material, which is a way of communication actually, and it is the exchange of written, typed, or printed messages. We can write the messages by in our own handwriting. We can type the messages. We can print them. So it can be written in all the three ways. Okay, and it is the exchange of the material, or you can say exchange of the ideas, and it is the way of communication actually. Now there are actually two kinds of letters. So I come to the kinds of letters here. There are two kinds of letters, formal letter and informal letter. Okay, these are the two very much different kinds of letters, formal and informal. So I want to discuss them. Formal letters. First of all, I want to discuss about the formal letter. A formal letter is a letter written to a business, an institution, or any professional that are not considered friends or family. It means formal letters are written to the organization, to the professional, and actually whenever we write the formal letters, they are not written to a person who are included in our family or friends, or you can say that whom we know very well. A formal letter is written in formal language for official purpose. Actually, formal letter is written in for official purposes. It means for the for some organization, for some institution, uh, or industries. So it should be written in the formal language. It means business language or official language, not the common one which we are using to talk with our friends or our family members. A formal letter is written for official or professional communication. It means it has to be written for official purposes in offices to communicate with one another. For example, an employee is writing a letter to his manager or the head of the organization, or it is also used for the professional communication. For some professional communication, like for some letters are to be written to the editor of the newspaper, so that we can tell him about the certain journal issues of our area or our cities. Now I hope you are understanding. Now I come to the second kind of letter, which is called the informal letter. Informal letter are just opposite kinds of formal letters. An informal letter is a letter written to a friend or a family member. It is the easiest kind of letter because it is written to any friend or a family member. So an informal letter is written for casual or personal communication. It means it is written for our personal communication with our family members or family friend. So it can be written in the simple language, or which language, or the language which we are using to communicate with our friend or our family. It means it can be written in the simple way. Now you know that informal letters, you have done many informal letters, many kinds of informal letters, or many in different previous classes. Like you have written many letters to your parents, your friends, your colleagues. But now the formal letters are included in your syllabus. Informal letters are not included in the book, but we are not doing the practice of these letters, informal letters, in this syllabus or in this session, because you have done a lot of practice before, and formal letters are included in your syllabus. So I am I want to explain the format of the formal letter here. Okay, the format, how to write the formal letter, it means what steps you are taking to write. In the format of the formal letters, these things are included, which I have written here. The first one is the date. Okay, if you remember, I have told you how to write the date in the previous lecture. When I was telling you about application writing, I have told you that there is a particular way to write the date. Okay, you should remember that particular pattern. Second thing which you want to write here, the addressee. It means addressee means to whom you are writing the letter, or the person whom you are writing the letter. You are not writing actually the name of the person. You have to write the designation of the person. For example, the manager, the editor, the head of the department, whatever you want to write. And after that, you will have to write the address. Okay, address, remember, if you are writing the letter to the editor of the newspaper, it means address means you have to write the name of the newspaper. Okay, next thing is subject. Subject has to be written in the format of formal letter. You should remember that subject, like you are writing the subject in the application, similar in the similar way you are writing the subject in the formal letter. Then salutation. Salutation means you are greeting the editor or whatever manager you are writing about them. Then introduction. Then there will be after the salutation there will be three paragraphs at least here in the formal letter. The first one is about the introduction, or you can say you are writing about the problem which you want to discuss. Then in the body part there is second, you can say the second paragraph, and in the third paragraph, that is will be the conclusion. And at the end you will do the closing of the letter. Okay, in which you are writing sincerely or sincerely, whatever you want to write. I hope you are understanding. Now I come to the another thing, how to write a formal letter. Formal letters can shape others' perception of you and inform the reader of a serious issue. Actually, in the formal letters, we are discussing about a serious issue or serious problem. So, whenever we write the letter to somebody, then the person who is reading the letter, he can understand about your thinking, your opinion, your ideas about the serious problem. Okay? Perception means your thinking, your ideas, your opinion. Block style is the most commonly used formal letter format. Block style, I have already discussed this name in the previous lecture of application writing. Block style means when you are writing everything with the margin line. It means in the straight line form, you are writing everything with the margin line. Now, next is steps of letter writing. We have to discuss these steps. These steps are the same which I have already discussed in the format. Okay. The first one is heading. Actually, whenever we write the date, addressee designation, and address, it comes in the in the heading. Okay, it is called the heading part of the letter, in which you are writing the date, you're writing the addressee designation, and the address. These all things comes in under heading. Next part or next step of letter writing is subject, in which you are writing about the topic or the problem which you want to discuss here. Next is salutation. It means greeting, dear sir, dear madam, whatever you want to write. Next step is the body part, in which I have already discussed you that you are writing three paragraphs at least, in which you are writing the introduction, the problem, and suggestions. Okay, these are the three paragraphs which you are writing when you are discussing a serious issue or the problem. Next step is to do the closing, in which you can write the name of the writer. It is optional. Optional means if you want to write, you can write. Otherwise, there is no need or not necessary to write the name of the writer. You can just write as concerned citizen. Okay. I hope you are understanding. If you have got any confusion, you will ask me at the end of the lecture. Now, the first step, or you can say that the part of the formal letter, is the heading. This part is written at the beginning of the letter. You should know that it is actually the starting point of the letter. So it has to be written at the beginning of the letter. And you should remember everything has to be written with the margin line, okay, from the left hand side of the page. It must be written at the upper left corner of the page. You should remember that when we are starting from the margin line, it means it is the upper left corner of the page. It includes the date, addressee designation, and address. I have already told you these three things comes under the heading. Now I have written an example here to show you the heading, how to write the heading. Now this is the format of writing the date. Remember this, the full name of the month, December here, then the day, 02, comma, then the year, and after that full stop. December 2, 2020. After that, the designation, the addressee, who is the addressee here? The editor. So you can see that T is capital for here, and E is also capital. Remember all these points of punctuation, how to do the heading and which punctuation marks we are using here. Here we are using the capital letters, we are using the comma, we are using the full stop. So you should learn all these things. The editor, and then we come to the address, the Daily Dawn. You need see that it is the proper noun. I have written T capital, D capital in both the cases. Daily Dawn, it is the name of the newspaper. After that, comma. Then address is not complete without mentioning the city name. So I have written Karachi here. Then full stop. Full stop shows that the address has been completed here. Nida, I will discuss all the problems in the end of the lecture. Please don't disturb the class at this moment, okay? If you have got any problem, if you want to ask any question, note it down somewhere, and after that, at the end of the lecture, ask me, okay? Now you should remember how to write the heading part of the letter. Date first, then addressee, then address. Okay, next part of the lecture or next step is the salutation and subject. I have combined both these things here in the form of example so that you can easily understand. Dear sir, you can write madam as well if the person is female, comma, then subject, load shedding. I have written one subject here, load shedding. You can see that L is capital and S is capital. I have already told you how to write the subject in the application lecture as well. Full stop. Full stop must be there to show that it is complete heading. Or I have given some more examples. Subject, traffic jam. You can see that T is capital and J is capital here. Full stop. Or subject, insanitary condition. Insanitary condition, full stop. I is capital and C is capital. You can see that I have written the full stop here. I have placed the full stop at the end to show that it is complete. Remember that the word subject has not been underlined here, and you should not underline it. You just underline the topic or the problem which you want to discuss here in the form of formal letters. Okay, remember all these points. Now I come to the body part. Body part means different paragraphs which you are writing in the middle of the letter. It must be written with the margin. Again, you should know that we are following the block style method. We are not following the old style of the board pattern. We are following the new style or new format. So we have to write everything from the margin line. It means we are using the block style method. It includes three paragraphs, at least three paragraphs. You can add one more paragraph or two more paragraphs if you want to write, but three paragraphs must be there. State the problem in first paragraph. Whatever you want to write or which problem you are discussing, you have to write about the problem in the first paragraph. Okay, what problem you are discussing? Like if you are discussing about the traffic jam, you are writing about the traffic jam in the first paragraph. If you are writing about load shedding, you are writing about the problem of the load shedding or power failure in the first paragraph. Okay, I think you are understanding. List the possible reasons for the problem in second paragraph. What you have to write in the second paragraph? The reasons. What are the possible reasons in your opinion about the problem? What are the reasons of the problem which you want to discuss? You have to write the possible reasons in the second paragraph. Give ideas, opinions, and suggestions in the third paragraph. In the last paragraph, it means the third one, you are writing about your own suggestions, your opinions, and ideas. Actually, you are giving these ideas, suggestions, and opinions to the editor so that, and these are the suggestions for the government as well, so that when the editor read it and then publish that letter in his newspaper, then government would look into that matter and try to solve that. I hope you are understanding. Then there is a part which is called the closing. That means the end part of the lecture. This part is written at the end of the letter. Okay, this is the last part. It must be written with the margin, which I have already told you that we are following the block style. So everything must be written with the margin line. Examples I have written here: a concerned citizen, full stop. You can see that A is capital, C is capital in both the cases. Or you can write in the way resident of, area name, you have to mention the area name here. For example, Gulistan-e-Johor, resident of Gulistan-e-Johor, resident of Gulshan, whatever you want to write here. You can write any one of them from these two examples. Okay. I hope you have understood everything very clearly. So I want to give you a quick review about all the things about the letter which we have already discussed, because some students are very much late in the class. So I want to give you a quick review for the topics or for the steps we have discussed here. Okay. Now this is the topic is letter writing today. And first of all, we have discussed the definition of letter, that it is the written, typed or printed communication between two persons or between different persons. It can be placed inside the envelope, and it can be sent by post or by messenger. Then we have discussed what is a letter writing. Letter writing is the exchange of written, typed or printed messages. And actually letter writing is the way of communication between the persons. Okay. We have discussed the kinds of letters then. There are two kinds of letters, formal letter and informal letter. Now, formal letter. Formal letter is a letter written to a business, institution, organization, professionals, and actually these are written to the persons whom we do not met and we don't know them well. Like we are not writing any formal letter to our friends or the family members. We are writing those letters to the people or to the persons whom we do not know them well. And actually these letters are written for official or professional purposes of official communication. And because of that, these should be written in the formal language, or you can say that official language. But informal letters are totally different from the formal letters, and these are written to our friends or the family members, and it is written for the casual or the personal communication. Like when we are talking to our friends or the family, we are using the simple language. So it is the informal letter. But you all know that I have already told you that informal letters are not included in your syllabus. Formal letters are only included, but you have a lot of practice of writing informal letters in previous classes. So I hope if there is any informal letter comes in your test, or wherever you have to write, you can easily write those letters. Now, the format which I have already discussed about of the formal letter here, these things are included when we are writing the formal letters: date, addressee, designation, and his address. Addressee means to whom you are writing the letter. Subject, salutation, that is also known as greeting. Then introduction, body, and conclusion. These are written in the form of 3 paragraphs. This is the body part. All three are in the body part or in the middle part of the letter. Then the last is the closing. How to write a formal letter? Actually, formal letters can shape others' perception of you and inform the reader of a serious issue. Actually, when we are writing the formal letter, we are discussing a serious problem, and we are giving our own ideas and thinking about that or thoughts about that. Block style is the most commonly used formal letter format, which I have already discussed you many times, that block style means everything should be written with the margin line. One more thing which I want to tell you about, that we are not following the old style, old pattern of writing the formal letters, the right or left side, but now we are following the block style method, which has been given to us from the board as well. Steps of letter writing: heading. These are the 5 steps. Heading, which includes the date, addressee, designation, and address. Then the subject, which means the topic or problem you have to write in the form of heading. Then third one is salutation, which is called the greeting as well. Next, fourth step is the body, which includes at least 3 paragraphs: introduction, problem, and suggestion. Then in the fifth paragraph, closing, that means name of the writer. It is optional. Optional means it is your wish to write the name of the writer or not. Now we have discussed these steps one by one. Now I am again repeating them. The heading, this part is written at the beginning of the letter. This is the first part of the letter. It must be written at the upper left corner of the page, and it includes the date, addressee designation, and the address. I have given you one example of heading here. Please remember to write, remember how to write the date. It is the pattern given by the board in your book as well. The name of the month, then the day, comma, and the year, full stop. December 2, 2020. Then the addressee name, the editor, comma, then address, the Daily Dawn, and then city name, Karachi. Remember where I have used different punctuation marks. Remember all those punctuation marks. Now next step is salutation and subject. I have already given an example here in the form of this slide. You can see that dear sir, comma, subject road shedding, or subject traffic jam, or subject insanitary condition. You should remember that we have how to write the heading. Here we have to use the capital letters, and you should remember that the heading should be underlined. Okay. Now next is the body part. It also must be written with the margin. With 3 paragraphs have to be written here. In the first paragraph, you have to state the problem. It means discuss the problem, whatever you want to write. In the second paragraph, you are writing about the possible reasons for that problem. In the third paragraph, you have to write about your ideas, your opinions, and your suggestions. Here to mention or to write in the last paragraph. Then in the end you are writing the closing part. This part is written at the end of the letter, and it also must be written with the margin because we are following the block style. I have told you many times, and I am repeating it many times, that it is called the block style method, in which we are writing everything with the margin line. In the end, you are writing the closing in the form of these examples: a concerned citizen, or you can write the resident of area name you can mention here. I hope you have understood everything very clearly. Now I want to give you one more point, that if you want to, you can leave one line before and after the subject to make it prominent. Okay. I hope you have understood everything very clearly. Now I'm giving you 1 minute only. You can you can ask me any questions if you want to. Are you listening me? Now students, it is your time to ask me any questions. Now students, if you want to ask anything, please ask me. Nida, yes. If you want to change the paragraph, you just start with the new line. Okay, Nida? Don't get worried. We are not you making the or in the form of paragraph. We are not leaving any space. We just change the line. Yes, Nida. We start the new paragraph with the margin line. Nawal, method of informal letters same as we have. Yes, yes, Nawal. If you have to write the informal letters, then you have to um, follow the previous pattern, but use the block style. Okay, it means you have to uh, write everything with the margin. Neither if you have if you have made the paragraph in application, then it is wrong. Okay, and I am repeating this again because Nawal has asked me an a question that about informal letters, which method they have you have to follow. I am telling you, you have to follow the same method. Everything must be written in the same form, but you have to change it into the block style. Don't write anything from the right side of the page. Everything must be written from the left side from with the margin, and don't leave any space for the paragraph. Remember all these things. Okay, do you have any question? More questions, please ask me. I have marked your attendance, so please don't get worried. Subject comes first always, like application or like informal formal letters. You are writing the subject. I'm mentioning you here. Remember that subject must be written after the heading. After the heading, you have to mention the subject, then salutation. Okay, remember this thing. In the example, because it is just one line, I have written it at the top. Okay, so don't get confused. Subject comes first, Nawal. I'm telling you again and again. After the heading, you will have to write the subject, then salutation. Okay? Then you will start writing the 3 paragraphs of the letter. Anything which you want to ask? Any one of you? Now, I want to remind you that today is the homework submission day. You have to submit the homework of language, homework assignments of language. These are 3 assignments, 2 of essay writing and 1 of application writing. Today, I will assign you or I will give you the homework assignment about the letter writing or letters, but I will assign you a date for submission in the coming week. So don't get worried. It should not be submitted today. It will be submitted in the coming weeks. Okay. I hope you have understood everything. Now I want to close the lecture today. I want to stop here. Anything which you want to ask? One only half minute is left. Yes, applications are also in the form of formal letters. Okay, these are called the formal letters sometimes. Okay, now I want to close here. Allah Hafiz. Applications are included. You know that I have given in the